Good evening, everyone.
Sorry.
A weird feedback.
There we
Is
go.
it better?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Otsego City Council meeting. Tonight is Monday, July 25th. Audra, can you have the record show that our city attorney is present, our city planner, our city engineer, all council members are present, as Mr. Darkmalt is walking in right now. We have our assistant city administrator present. Our administrator is absent this evening. So just sit down and then we will stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our first item of business this evening is our open forum. This is the portion of the meeting where you can come to the podium, or for residents that might be online, you can state your name and address and limit comments to 5 minutes or less. Would anyone like to speak at this time? Seeing or hearing from no one, we will close the open forum and move on to consider our agenda for approval. We have an item in front of us, Sabrina.
Yes, there should be printed copies for everyone. It is a request for a letter in support for broadband grant for charter inspector.
Would you like this under item 311, or would you actually like, did everybody get a chance to look at it?
I have, yes.
I've looked at it. Have or haven't?
Have not.
Okay, so then let's move it to item, we'll move it to item 4.1 and we'll move all the commission updates to 4.2. Does that work, Sabrina?
Yep.
All right. Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to add or delete at this time? Right, then a motion would be in order.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Brittany.
I'll move to approve the agenda as amended, adding item 4.1 and moving item 4.2.
Second.
Motion by Brittany, seconded by Jeff. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item 3, it's our consent agenda. A motion would be in order.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Brittany.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as amended. As written, excuse me.
I second.
All right. Motion by Brittany, seconded by Jeff. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 4.1, I will turn this over to Sabrina.
Thank you, Mayor. So today we received a request for a letter from the city in support of a grant program from Minnesota Department of Economic and Employment. So Spectrum Charter is looking to improve some service areas within the city of Otsego. They're working on a few other projects in the area, but they're looking for and to add to their grant application to have a letter of support from the city just to increase their chances of receiving the grant. Hopefully the deadline is on August 4th, so this is the last council meeting I would be able to review it at. But if you have any questions, I can try to answer them, but it's been pretty short notice for me.
I have one question. So I know it says it's part of the Minnesota deed grant that they're applying for, but I also know that Wright County has some specific dollars that they're trying to put out into communities, and with the specific communications group. Are they going to be applying for that also, or is this just for the deed stuff?
I'm not aware if they're applying for the Wright County one, but right now they're just applying for this Minnesota deed.
Okay.
They didn't mention anything on, we got it from their administration department, not anyone on that project, so I would imagine
Okay.
it's probably just.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful that they will also be applying for those dollars. I mean, Wright County has a lot of money that they were looking at giving organizations to increase broadband throughout the county.
Yep.
So
In regards to that, do we know the amount or have an idea of what that would be?
For deed, no, we have not been given really any information on that project.
Okay. Be nice to know, right?
Yeah, I know St. Michael's reviewing this tomorrow, and then I know Monticello was also sent that, but I do not know when their next council meeting is.
sure.
Okay.
I mean, any dollars that they can get to improve service for our
Yeah.
residents is a positive for us. So
Yeah, absolutely. there's a lot of residents that need that help with broadband. Services. Low.
All right, so if there's no other questions, then a motion to approve support of this would be in order.
And Mayor,
Tom?
first, so is this grant coming from Charter Spectrum or?
Charter and Spectrum's applying for it
Okay,
from Minnesota.
Minnesota
DEP.
D.
so they're applying on our behalf, so this letter of support is,
They're just requesting for us to say that we are in support of them doing this project and improving the residents' service. So we're not doing the fiscal management or anything of it. We're just assisting to increase their chances of being awarded it.
and so my guess is that they're getting it from other communities as well. So whatever money they do get will be spread throughout.
Yeah, there's the map
There's the
located
map.
on there that's showing the service areas of what,
Yeah.
where they're looking to make improvements at.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Mayor.
Jeff.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a letter of support for the charter application for a grant to expand broadband service within the city and authorize the mayor to sign on the city council's behalf.
Second.
Motion by Jeff, seconded by Brittany. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item 4.2, it would be commission liaison updates. First one would be heritage preservation. Brittany,
I don't have anything.
right? Next would be park and rec. It's under me, but I was absent. I'll turn it over to Brittany.
So Park and Recs was a nice meeting. We had updates from Kim Welter for the wayfinding signages. So just, she had asked for feedback as far as of the signs of the meeting prior to this month. We had some of the commissioners had talked about, they just had questions about the signage and if things could be shall we say, placed differently. So a lot of those questions were answered, and what else happened that night? We also had Nick updated us with Mississippi River, or what Mississippi River of let me think of the name. Basically, they're going to help the city along the river, like back by our neighborhood by Mississippi Davis Park, just how to preserve the natural land. So that was kind of interesting, and Nick met with them last week.
And this is the county or which organization
This,
is helping you?
so it's Friends of Mississippi.
Oh.
Let me pull it up. for you. But it's basically just preserving natural land that's in Otsego along the river. They do a lot of work throughout the state. It's a whole organization. Let me just find it. Sorry. This one. Friends of the Mississippi River. How easy is that to remember? So it's just a.
So it's
a well-known-
restoration?
Yes, and
Oh,
it's like
that's
just,
perfect.
again, preserving. So they come in and they didn't have a ton of details. That's also why I don't have a ton of details to share with you.
Sure.
But I'm hoping to learn more at our admin meeting and then at Park and Recs for next month. But otherwise, it was business as usual. That's really what we did. We just updated the wayfinding signage, and that's really it.
All right, thank you. Planning Commission, Tom.
Nothing.
Okay. Public safety would be Tina, but we
Nothing.
had no meeting.
No.
So there's nothing there. All right, we are still under city council reports and updates. Does anyone have anything? All right, moving on to staff reports and updates. Sabrina.
Thank you, Mayor. Only update I have is Parks and Rec Director position closed today at 5 p.m. and we have received 30 applications for the position. So,
Did you say 30?
Yep.
Okay.
so we will be getting to review the applicants, and we should be able to get some of their information over to council as we get closer to that.
Great. Audra.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a couple of dates, starting August 2nd. Direct balloting will start at City Hall, and so will candidate filing for city seats that will be open. Absentee voting and direct balloting in person is available Saturday, August 6th at City Hall from 10 to 3 and will continue until Monday, August 8th. And the primary election is Tuesday, August 9th from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the 4 polling locations.
Thank you. All right, Dave,
I have nothing to report. Thank you, Mayor.
Dan,
I have nothing to report. Thank you, Mayor.
Ron,
I'll just give some updates on the city projects. So
Great.
Dan's brought up the water tower. We have a drone photo. The exterior's been painted, as you can see, and this is looking northeast, probably right towards where we're sitting. This angle would be easily seen, I think, from the interchange of I-94 and 37. So I think it looks pretty good. We just got some electrical, SCADA, security, that sort of stuff, lighting, site work. Expected online in the next couple months. This is pretty far ahead of schedule. We were thinking June of 2023, so it's moved along rather quickly, which will help supply the west side with water, but in the future, both the east and the west will benefit from this 1.5 million gallon water tower. Also on the street renewal, Wallish Estates, they're doing the final lift this week. They'll be doing the shouldering probably soon after that, along with all the other items, seating, restoration efforts. So that one should be wrapping up pretty quickly also. That's all I have.
perfect.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
just a quick question. Ron, were we expecting it to be done June 2023, or is that the updated timeline?
Nope, that was the completion date timeline,
Yeah.
but they're going to be, 6, 7, 8 months ahead of schedule here.
So they'll have it online in 2022.
Correct.
perfect. Ron, I have a question. And I wrote it down, but this might, maybe need to direct me to Kevin or to Nick at this point, but there was some additional upgrades at the aprons on 87th by Target. So it'd be on the east side of 42. There's these random like white poles sticking out of the concrete with no cones over them or any type of marking, but so it's not where the light pole would be. It's right next to it on both sides, and it's both on the east side. Obviously a little bit of a hazard. You have a lot of people.
Well, there's the pedestrian push buttons. Is that what we're talking about or not?
No, they're
Because
just
those-
these white
Like PVC.
PVC pipes. And so
Okay.
maybe it's going to be the push buttons, because right now you still do push the button on the light pole, but they're two actually separate white
Yeah.
poles coming out of the ground. So it
The-
may be the pedestrian.
The best pedestrian push buttons have to be a certain distance from the
The
and
pole.
pointed towards the ones. So we've added new ones that are going, of course, across 85th Street because we never, or not 85th Street,
87,
42.
yep.
87th Street, we had them in, of course, before
Mhm.
with the signal.
Sure.
But when they added 87th Street on the west side and also the trail
Mhm.
on the west side, then the additional push button poles are there.
Okay.
I don't know if they're gonna stay
So there's,
white,
n-
maybe they might turn.
so no, there's no, right now it's just a PVC pipe
Okay,
with nothing around it, no caution. If you were riding your bike, you would
Yeah.
become very injured or walking.
Okay.
They're about,
we had both sides, but they've been having some trouble getting the push button system
sure,
delivered.
Yep.
It's taking some time. Everything else is ready. We've had them closed, and then businesses around it are requesting the city open the trails. And
Yes.
If you open the trails, then you have.
yes. So
this-
the trails are open to your comment,
Okay.
but we need to somehow get something over these
We could probably
conduit
put a
poles.
They could
Cone or
put a
something.
cone
Yeah.
on top of them, and that would probably take care.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's probably down there for electrical to come out.
It's
in the
probably for electrical to
future.
come out, but they're
Sure.
about 2.5 feet
Yeah,
out of the
they're
concrete
for-
right
And
now.
it's white.
Ability
And it's
for-
white, so you don't notice it.
Yeah.
And so, and everyone's riding their bikes, Target or walking, and crossing to go to Dunkin' Donuts. Now that that's open. So I've gotten a few calls on that. And so I did drive by and I was, yeah, it looks very dangerous
Yep.
on that trail.
Yeah.
Heavily used.
That's my guess is what. they're
Okay.
looking at
That
is-
makes sense if it's a separate push button thing. Cause I was like, well, there are push buttons currently, but as you said, not crossing there. So if you could contact
Yep.
the who's ever, if it's getting our staff out there to get cones on top of it or finding an ETA.
No,
of when
we'll
those
have the
poles are gonna be.
contractor or inspector out there.
Great. All right, thank you for that. All right, does anyone else have anything? And a motion to adjourn would be in order.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Tom, seconded by Tina. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Thank you all for attending. It's kind of a nice treat that we got done so quickly and
Gosh, I gotta go home.
all right, bye. Did you just go?
I just got.
Sorry, that was so brutal.
I almost did.